Hello, welcome to another video from the Brecon Beacons. I haven't been out for ages, right? 3-4 weeks, 4 weeks I think. It's a long time, and I've been getting withdrawal symptoms. And frankly, the weather at the moment is pretty crap. I've just been sat in the car for 20 minutes waiting for the previous rainstorm to go away. And I managed to get dressed and down the road just as the next one arrives. But not to worry, I haven't got that far to go. So I'm on a camp, not a walk this time. I've got myself thoughts of a slightly unusual pitch on the northern escarpment of the Beacons, and yeah, I think it's going to be good. Just looking at this big black cloud behind. Yeah, clouds in and out, showers, southwesterly winds, hence heading for the northern escarpment. Supposed to clear up overnight, so it should be decent views in the morning. But for tonight, some pretty heavy showers on the way. I'm hoping not to get too wet by the time I get to my pitch, but if I do, I do. We'll see. Anyway, let's go for a walk. So, mountain weather, wonderful stuff. So, sat in the car for 20 minutes, like I said, waiting for the rain to stop. Rain stops. So, put on my gear, get about a mile up the road, and I'm roasting. So, wet weather gear is off, and just trying to get a move on in case there's more weather. Now if we look this way, what you'll see is blue sky. If you look around this way, there's a big black mess on the way. So I'll wait for that to arrive and then I'll put the gear back on. In the meantime, I'll try and get as far as I can before that cloud arrives. So I've made it to the northern escarpment. I'm just watching the farmer who's chasing some sheep around. He lost 4, he said, I think, but I think I can see them over there. It'll be those over there, I think, which I suspect are pretty near where I want to pitch. So despite the time getting on, I'm going to hang around and wait for this farmer to move off and then wander around. In the meantime, have a look at the view. It's not too bad considering the weather. Goes all the way down. There's a couple of the northern ridges of these beacons. And that peak over there is Fanny Bag. And behind there is Brecon. Okay, so this is the northern escarpment and my pitch is down there. We should be out of the wind. So let's go see. Okay, pitched up. It's not as sheltered from the wind as I thought it might be actually, but there you go. So tonight's tent is my Station13 Shield, which I haven't had out for a little while actually. I haven't sorted out inside yet, but you know, no problem. So I'm going to get in the tent, get my boots off, sort the mess out, and then get a brew on. So I've got me brew, a cup of OXO. I have to say that's really good. And yeah, it's going down well. So for tea tonight, as I think I've already said, I have some Irish stew, just tin. Lynn said surely that's really heavy to carry up. Well yeah it is, but the heavy bit is the contents, not the tin, because of course it's got all the water and fluids in. And to go with that I've got a portion of mashed potato, which I'll boil it some water for. Something new for me on the hill. And then afterwards I've got my normal cheese and biscuits. And I've got plenty of coffee. Another OXO cube. It's getting pretty foul out there. Yeah, just to be absolutely honest with you, I did come out a couple of nights ago and the weather was horrendous. I mean, the forecast wasn't great. It was, you know, it was saying showers, clag, bit of wind, you know, pretty much what we've got tonight. Only it was much worse. The rain was incredible. The wind just actually knocked me off my feet a couple of times. And I should have known really when I drove down here, the lane that you come down to get to the car park was half flooded. You know, every so often you were going through huge puddles. And then the road where you come out of the car park onto the road was a river. I did a bit of filming of it. I'll put that in just for a laugh. And then the rocky track that you come off, that was a river as well. And there's one stream you got to get over, and I just couldn't get over it. And at that point I thought, nah, this is done. So I'll come back in a couple of days. And it turns out that in that like 24, 48 hours, they had over 2 inches of rain here. So anyway, but I really wanted to get out because it's so long. And even now, you know, as you can hear, the weather's not brilliant. But yeah, you've got to get out, haven't you? You've got to do it. If I had a brain in my head, I'd have realised that Irish stew came with spuds in it. So I don't really need the mashed potato. The Trangia took ages to bloom again. The first time I used it, the second time, it's fine. This is starting to come through now. I have to say I'm quite pleased with this alcohol cooking stuff. It's lovely and quiet. Allows you to listen to the rain smashing on the tent. It's bloody raining again. And this. Yep, that's okay. So, Irish stew and mashed potato. Okay, so that's dinner done. Just having my cheese and biscuits, cup of coffee. And I'll get into bed then and settle down and watch a film. It's been raining for about 2.5 hours now, so can't get out and have a wander around. So anyway, 2 things I want to talk about tonight. One is my sister Verna has just got an award for working for the NHS for 40 years. It's amazing. Well done, Verna. Proud of you. My other sister works in the NHS as well, Rosemary. Proud of both of them, but 40 years, I mean, that's just brilliant. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. I had the pleasure, I guess you'd call it a pleasure, of having my first COVID vaccine administered by my sister Verna. So, thanks for that, darling. And the other thing really is about this alcohol burner of mine, this Trangia. I do have the full Trangia set, but I just bring the burner with me. Those of you who watched my last video will know I had a lot of trouble with it, mainly because the alcohol was too cold, and I didn't realise that alcohol got too cold. And the other thing was that I dropped my lighter in the alcohol, and of course that stopped the lighter working, and it took me about half an hour to make the lighter work again. And then, yeah, eventually I got it going and I sorted. But the result of that was that a lot of people, quite a few people commented on the video with hints and tips on how to not get in such a mess. One guy suggested you could dip a stick, or someone else said a blade of grass, dip in the alcohol. The one that worked for me was a little twist of tissue paper. Put that in and then light the tissue paper, and then that lights the alcohol. So, and that's worked. I've used that tonight. That works fine. There is apparently a winter attachment which fits underneath the burner and clips into these little rings, these rings here, and it has a wick on it. So you light the wick, and that warms the underside of the burner and therefore the alcohol, and then it lights. The one that I haven't managed to try yet is someone suggested that I get a torch lighter, one where it comes out as a little jet on the end. I haven't managed to find one of those yet. I haven't had a lot of time, but I will get one. I noticed Andy Beavers and Paul Messner use them, so if YouTube Wild Camping Royalty use them, then maybe I should as well. Anyway, really speaking, what I really wanted to say after all that is just a huge thank you to everyone who watched that video, and especially to all those who commented and those who offered hints and tips for me. Made me feel a lot more confident in using the burners. The other amazing thing is that in the last month or so, my subscribers have doubled, more than doubled. And I was getting like 100 or 120 views per video, and then suddenly this last one has got well over 2,000. So huge thanks to everyone who watched it, and yeah, it's very pleasing that I've done something that people like. So anyway, that's it for me for now. I'll have another brew later on, and before I go to sleep, I'm just going to get my head down and watch a film, listen to some music, whatever, tidy this mess up, and then chill out, lie back, listen to the rain. So I'll talk to you a bit later. It's 11:15 now, and it's just this minute stopped raining, so that's like 5.5 hours. 5.5 hours? Yeah, 5.5 hours of rain. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm told, according to the weather forecast, we should get some views in the morning. So hopefully we will do that, and we'll have a bit of a wander around, and hopefully be able to cook outside the tent for breakfast. So unless some sort of disaster happens, I'll see thee in the morning. Good morning. Well, it's a beautiful morning, and I just set the camera up for a time lapse of the sunrise, and then went and hid in the tent because it's bleeding cold, and the wind blew the tripod over every so often. It's not too bad at the moment, but every so often there's this huge blast of wind comes through, and took my tripod out. So sorry about that. Oh, there's another wind. Anyway, I'll take you back down to the pitch, show you where I've been surviving during the night. It wasn't Wasn't a very comfortable night. Anyway, here's Pen y Fan for you. So there's my pitch over there. You can see there's just this little bit of a landslip. And there's a flat bit in there, although it's very, very wet last night. But, what a beautiful, beautiful day. Oh, it's another one of those blasts of winds coming through. You get absolutely still, oh grief, absolutely still air for a few minutes, and then every so often this massive blast of air comes through. It's unbelievable. Anyway, all packed up, ready to go. Just to show you, leaving no trace as always. And it's time to go. It's a lovely day. I'm in the shadow here, but we'll get up the bank in a minute and then out into the sunshine. I'll show you the views. So this is where we are. I've just come from down there. That's where I slept last night. You can see it is a little bit of a landslip on the end of the escarpment here. And over there, Powys. And over here, Fannybeg, Cribbin, Condy, Pen y Fan. Looking beautiful. Not quite sure what to do with a hood when you're not wearing it and it doesn't roll away. Right, so back down onto the stony track now, back to the car park. Ah, yay. Do you know, I'm not sure that I enjoyed that really. Got up to the pitch fine. Got the tent up just as it started raining, and I was going to go, you saw where I was up down in that like dip, and I was going to go back up, see if there was any chance of any views, but it just hosed it down for about 4-5 hours, something like that. Stopped briefly for a while and then carried on till midnight. So I couldn't really get out the tent at all. So of course most of that time is dark, so you know, but I couldn't really do any filming other than inside the tent. And then almost as soon as it stopped raining, the wind arrived, and as I've already mentioned, it sort of comes in blasts. So you'd get like a brief lull, and then some wind, and then bang, it's almost like somebody slammed the tent. So I didn't sleep much, to be honest, hardly at all. I don't think so anyway. It's one of those things, you remember being awake for hours, but you're not quite sure if you've been asleep at all. Either way, I didn't have a good night's sleep. And then this morning, every time I tried to film anything, that wind would come in, and either the tripod would go over, or the tent would lift, or you know, it knocked the cooker over once. So it was just hopeless. You could get all set up and then something would fly away. Yeah, so it's not going to go down as one of my favourite nights out, I don't think. But on the other hand, I've been out and I've done it, and I survived, and I haven't got soaking wet, and I haven't actually let anything blow away. So, you know, it's a success, isn't it? You know, the only people who fail are the ones who don't try. So, I just got to walk back down to the car now, and I'll leave you with these views, which are pretty good, let's be honest. There is the central beacons over there, looking lovely as always. Anyway, if you've made it so far, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you want to see more, you can subscribe, press the little notification bell, and if anyone's got any more hints and tips for me, I'd be very grateful to get them. So anyway, thanks for now, and I'll hope to see you on the next one.